We'll start with the prayers. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I welcome you all to the first session of Bhagavad Gita introduction. This is primarily meant for beginners who do not have any background about spiritual study. Completely fresh seekers. I have said before in the WhatsApp messages that those seekers who are interested to come and study Bhagavad Gita, they have to do two primary texts. The first primary text is Tattva Bodha. I will briefly talk about Tattva Bodha first. In Tattva Bodha, for those who have not done Tattva Bodha, I want to give you a glimpse of what is Tattva Bodha. Tattva Bodha is a text written by Shankaracharya, and it has 5 main topics. It is to introduce a seeker to the spiritual study. There are 38 verses in Tattva Bodha, and the first topic there is Sadhana Chatushtayam. What are the qualifications required to study Bhagavad Gita? There, if you go to study material which have been sent to you, you will get the details of Viveka, Vairagya, Samadha Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshutvam. This is the first topic. So the first topic deals with qualifications. How do you make yourself fit to study the Gita? The second topic was from verses 8 to 16, and primarily the individual is discussed in this topic. Who am I? What do I consist of? I consist of 3 bodies. I consist of sense organs, organs of action, mind, and so on. So it is called as Vyashti Vichara. Individual who is studying this text, who is he? Then there is a third topic which deals with Samashti Vichara. Samashti means overall the total universe. How do I look at the universe? This is the third topic which is discussed in Tattva Bodha. The fourth topic is Veda says that there is something which is common to the individual and the total. And that commonness is discussed in the fourth topic. The commonness is called as Atma Jnanam. This is a very important topic which goes from 27th to 34th verse in Tattva Bodha. This is the main portion which we expand in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. Then Jnana Phalam. What do I get by studying a text like Tattva Bodha? So these are the 5 topics: Sadhana Chatushtayam, Vyashti Vichara, Samashti Vichara, Aikya Vichara, and Jnana. 38 verses. Then the second Prakarana Grantha means preliminary text for all the seekers before they come to study the Bhagavad Gita is called as Atma Bodha. I have sent notes to this. I have sent videos of my sessions on this to the seekers who are interested to study the Bhagavad Gita. Now, Atma Bodha has got 68 verses, and like Tattva Bodha, it also has got 5 main topics. These are all preliminary study. The first topic is the spiritual journey. Suppose I want to start the spiritual journey, understand what is life, understand what the world is, understand who is the creator of this universe. So here, the spiritual journey is divided into 3 portions. One is Karma Yoga, how to do action. Second is Asana Yoga, how to do meditation. And the third topic in this first section is Jnana Yoga. Briefly, this is what is the first topic. And then it also says that one must listen to the scriptures first, then contemplate on the scriptures, and then assimilate the knowledge to transform my view of this universe. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasa. This is the first topic in Atma Bodha. The second topic in Atma Bodha is what is samsara? What is the cause of worry, sorrow, grief? That is the second topic. And there it clearly says that all of us commit a mistake. What is the mistake we all commit? It is a universal mistake. We take the body as I. We take the mind as I. What does Atma Bodha says? Atma Bodha says that you are not the body, you are not the mind, but you are Atma. What is Atma? Atma is not the gross body, not the subtle body, not the causal body. It is not the waking state, it is not the dream state, it is not the sleep state. It is not the panchakoshas, it is not the 5 layers of our personality. Gross body, sthula shariram is annamaya kosha. The second layer is pranamaya kosha, the breath, which covers my Atma. The third layer, which is a very important layer, is manomaya kosha, mind. The mind covers this light of consciousness, light of Atma. The fourth kosha is vijnanamaya kosha. That means karta and bhokta. That means the doer of action and the enjoyer of action. All the time I'm thinking, I have to do this action, I will enjoy this result. I'm doing this action, I will enjoy this result. That also is covering for Atma. The last kosha is Anandamaya kosha. Anandamaya kosha means what? Sometimes I get completely swallowed up in the happiness in the world. Bhagavad Gita says that is not the right attitude for a spiritual seeker. This definition of Atma is given in Tattva Bodha. Now we have to apply that definition in Atma Bodha. When I look at myself as Atma, the awareness or consciousness principle, then I get rid of samsara. Samsara means sorrow. This is said in the second topic of Atma Bodha. The third topic discussed in Atma Bodha is Jnana Yoga. This is the most important section in Atma Bodha text. What is Jnanam? What is Atma Jnanam? How do I do this inquiry? Self-inquiry. Beautiful section in Atma Bodha. The fourth section is assimilation. About 12 verses are there. How do I assimilate this knowledge of Atma as myself? And like Tattvabodha, the last section is what is the Jnana Phalam? What is the fruit of this knowledge and what is the glory of this knowledge? The glory of this knowledge is it gives me the mindset to accept life as it comes without having sorrow in life. That is the goal of Bodha study. Very beautiful two texts, Tattvabodha, Atma Bodha. There are many people who come to Bhagavad Gita study. They study suddenly fifth chapter, then they study eighth chapter, then they study 15th chapter, and who have never done Atma Bodha or Tattva Bodha. Those people find it extremely difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita. So that is why I have given the videos of these two texts. I have covered these two texts before coming to Bhagavad Gita. In the last 6 months, I have taken up these texts and primarily for those seekers who want to study Bhagavad Gita. So with this, I close the preliminary texts and now come to today's topic of Introduction to Veda. What I plan to do is today I will give you a brief outline of the Veda. In about 45 minutes time, I will stop. I will devote the last half an hour for question answer. I have already received some questions from about 13 seekers. I will go through one by one. If you are around, I will ask you to just give me your question and then I will answer so that everybody can understand the question and then we can see how we can get solutions to those questions. Today's topic is Introduction to Veda, and in this topic, the first thing which we are going to study is goals of human life. Normally speaking, we are all born in this world and generally we take our goal is to study in school, colleges, get a job, get money and live our life. Our life is basically enjoy a few things in the world. That is our normal goal of life. And of course, we deal with a dharmic life. So, three goals are very clear to most of us. Every person, without even coming to Veda, They, it is inbuilt in our system. The first goal is, what does Veda do? Veda classifies these goals and adds one more goal to life. The first one is called as dharma in the Veda. Dharma means leading an harmonious lifestyle. I live in a society, I'm an individual in the society. So I have to follow the rules of the society and follow the yama and niyamas as mentioned in Yoga Shastra. Basically means you follow a disciplined life. Even without coming to Veda, you will be doing this. If you come from a normal good family, you will have a harmonious life, which is dharmic. You will do some rituals, and then you will also lead a dharmic life. Every grahastha does this. Artha. The second goal of life is money, wealth. Wealth is money is required to run our life. It is one of the basic needs of sustaining ourselves in this world. We need food, shelter, clothing. All this can be bought with the help of money. So Veda says perfectly fine. Go ahead, earn money, and live your life. This is the second goal of life. Automatically comes from our family background. You see your parents living a dharmic life, you also live a dharmic life. You see your parents working working for food, shelter, clothing, you also do the same. Third goal is kama. Kama means simple joys and entertainment in the world, like seeing a movie, like seeing going having uh, a good meal in a restaurant. These are all simple desires which we fulfill. That is the goal of the third goal. The last goal, which is given out by Veda, is called as moksha. Moksha is not known to 99.99% of human beings in life. Universally, we don't know what is moksha. Unless and until you come to study the Veda. Even when you come to study the Veda and study Bhagavad Gita and study Upanishads, you may not understand what is moksha. It takes time because the qualifications required to understand the moksha are very, very strict. Moksha, in simple terms, means freedom from sorrow. Freedom from sorrow is called as moksha. Or this is called as discussing moksha from a negative point of view. You have sorrow, you get rid of sorrow in life, you get moksha. Positively speaking, what is moksha? Positively speaking, moksha means sukha prapti. Sukha prapti means what? I want permanent peace, happiness, and security in my life. Permanently. Not temporary. Temporary I can get with a little bit money and house and all. Temporary security is there. But now I want permanent happiness. Temporary happiness we all get. So moksha is the fourth goal which seekers discover while studying the Bhagavad Gita. Especially in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna defines and he tells us what is this moksha. Beautiful section in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So freedom from sorrow and acquisition or attainment of happiness, permanent happiness, is moksha. I hope you are with me far. I have discussed Tattvabodha, Atma Bodha. Now, the third, what I'm discussing today is goals of life. And the last portion is what you get by the study of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutra. Okay. In general, why do people come to the spiritual study? Mainly, what happens is a person after going through life, maybe a person he is intelligent at the life of, at the age of 20. Some people will come to Bhagavad Gita at the age of 40. They have seen what is life. They have seen what is life, and they have also experienced some death. So they know what is life, goals of life, dharma, artha, kama, and they have seen their parents, their relatives going through life, and they have seen death also. They have experienced not, they have experienced death in their family, and then what happens to them? They ask a fundamental question: what is the goal of life? What is their realization? Very beautifully, the realization of a seeker is given in Kathopanishad, where samsara is described in 3 words. What is samsara? Samsara means repeated cycle of birth and death, joy and sorrow, repeated cycle. Because Veda believes this is not your first birth. Veda says this is you're born so many times in this universe. And in all these births, we have enjoyed sukham and dukkham mixture. An intelligent seeker finds 3 defects in our day-to-day life. 3 limitations. What is the first limitation? Atripti. Tripti in Sanskrit, non-fulfillment in life. Fulfillment. I'm not talking about satisfaction. Satisfaction is you achieve a goal, you clear your graduation, post-graduation, get a PhD, get married, have children. These are all, it satisfies you. But the question which is an intelligent seeker asks is, after every satisfied goal, I start putting another goal. And then I run towards that goal again. Is there a goal in life where I get totally satisfied after achieving that goal? Those are the people who come to the spiritual study. See, beautifully, Kathopanishad analyzes the mindset of seekers. So the first defect in our normal day-to-day living is atripti, means non-fulfillment in life. Second, dukkha. Dukkham means sorrow. In our life, we always have a mixture of joy and sorrow. Joy continues for a few days, few months, few years, and suddenly a dukkham comes. And then you get absorbed in dukkham, again some sukham comes. So life is ups and downs. So this is the second realization of a seeker. My life is a mixture of sukham and dukkham. Is there something which I can learn by which I can be permanently happy? Those are the seekers who come to Bhagavad Gita. So the second defect is dukkha. The third defect is bandha. Bandha means obsessions in life, bondage. This happens naturally to us when we fulfill our desires. Simple desire, I want to earn money. I earn maybe 1 crore or rupees, 2 crore or $1 million. I'm not satisfied. Again, I want to go for something more. So always you will find you are bound to certain things, certain goals, or certain people in life. You cannot live without some relationship with your son, daughter, wife, husband. Family is a bondage according to Shastra. Bondage means it'll never give you fulfillment, it'll give you satisfactions. And there are many obsessions which happen in life, which I'm sure all of you can understand. What I want all of you to do in your own spare time is analyze these three things. Find out whether these three things are there with you. Are these some type of a problem? Would you like to come out of these three problems? When I look at the question and answer sessions, most of you are talking about the same three. Analyze. During my Bhagavad Gita sessions starting in January 3rd, I would like most of the sessions will be, I will be talking for about roughly an hour, and the last half an hour will be a discussion. Whatever we have discussed in that 1 hour, I want to engage you and get your viewpoints on what we are studying. Because Veda, Upanishads, a seeker in Vedanta is told to use his intellect. Keep on contemplating on what you study. And then learn, transform your mind. That is the goal of the study of Bhagavad Gita. Next point. So this is about what is samsara. Samsara is nothing but dukkha, atripti karatvam, bandha karatvam. Now, what is delusion? We all have delusions in life. The fundamental delusion which Bhagavad Gita says is we have a delusion that the world will give me permanent security, happiness, and peace. World. What the Bhagavad Gita teaches? Bhagavad Gita teaches you that Atma will give you permanent security, happiness, and peace. Atma. And what is Atma? Is it outside or inside you? It is inside you. It is your Swarupam. So, how to remove this delusion which you have, how to remove this misconception that I have to work in the world to get peace of mind. One of the questions asked is how to get peace of mind, how to stop my worries. The answer is come to Bhagavad Gita and understand how your mind works. How does joy come? How does sorrow come in life? Why does it? These are the questions which we will be answering when we study Bhagavad Gita. Now, Bhagavad Gita is after we study Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha, we come to Bhagavad Gita. Today, I want to give you a glimpse. It is only a glimpse. It is just to give you some attraction as how big is this spiritual study and what type of commitment you see. All of you are beginners. Some of you have been coming to these talks for many years also. Some of you have been attending my other sessions. But one thing we should not forget is the structure of spiritual study. Beginner's texts, Bhagavad Gita, then you come to Upanishads. Now, beginner's text is called as Prarana Granthas, Tathovoda Atmabodha. After doing these two, what happens is you come to the main spiritual texts. In Hinduism, in the Veda, we talk about Prasthana Trayam. Three basic texts. The number one is Bhagavad Gita, consisting of 18 chapters, 701 verses. The second is Upanishads. There are 12 main important Upanishads. 10 Upanishads, Shankaracharya has written commentary. And for two Upanishads, Kaivalya Upanishad, Svetaswara Upanishad, these are also important to study. But Shankara Bhashyan is not available. But for 10 other Upanishads, you will get Bhashyam. Bhashyam means what? Commentary of Shankaracharya on the verses. Shankaracharya has written commentary on Bhagavad Gita. He has written commentary on Upanishads. He has written commentary on Brahma Sutras. The fundamental way to study these three texts, the Acharyas tell us, first you do the basic verse meaning. Learn it from any guru. But if you are a very serious seeker, after you have gone through the verse by verse meanings and the analysis, if you are a serious seeker, study the Bhashyam. Bhashyam means commentary, but it takes a lot of time. That is why we don't recommend Bhashyam in the initial stages. I have taken Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyam. I have taken Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashyam. Now, it takes almost 2 years. I've taken Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyam for 2 years. Similarly, Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashyam for maybe another year and a half. So you require a lot of patience. Bhagavad Gita study also will take you 2 years just to learn the meanings of the verses, not the commentary of Shankaracharya. So first you study the verse-wise meanings, understand the verse-wise meanings. If you still are interested, study the Bhashyam, which takes time, but it is the perfect way to proceed in spiritual journey. Brahma Sutra is a text written by Vyasacharya, and Bhagavad Gita is also from Vyasacharya. Upanishads are Apaurusheya. It is not written by any Acharya. It is written, it is said, is seen, it is heard by the rishis. Bhagavad Gita is a Smriti Grantha. Upanishads are Shruti, heard. Brahma Sutras are also written by Vyasacharya to find out what is the central teaching of the Veda. There are 4 chapters, there are 555 verses in Brahma Sutra. So these 3 texts primarily are the most important texts which we have to study. So now you have a vision, and in all this vision you must know that this is a continuous study for a period of time, maybe 5 years. You can leave. You can leave after the first section of Bhagavad Gita. You can leave in between. But I just want to give you a full view so that you are not, you understand what is this whole spiritual journey is about. And you get yourself mentally ready 1 hour every week. Too much. Come to yourself. Give it a try. If it helps you, continue. There are many people who are attending Mandukya who have been there with me for 10 years. They're still there, still studying. So, this gives you a bird's eye view of the entire spiritual journey. This is what I wanted to give it to the new people who are coming to learn Bhagavad Gita. Now, Upanishads, I told you there are 12 Upanishads. Now, Upanishads have got are from 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. In this chart, I have given each Upanishad from which Veda is coming, roughly how many mantras are there, how many chapters are there, how many sections are there, what is the prayer we chant before studying that Upanishad. Like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we study Purnamadha. Then who is the Acharya? Who is the teacher in that Upanishad? Who is the student? What is the main central Mahavakyam in that Upanishad? And what are the important mantras? This is a very, very preliminary, brief chart which I prepared 10 years ago when I was studying Upanishads. 10, 15, 20 years ago. So, I wanted to know what are these Upanishads, how many mantras I have to study. I thought maybe I will just study one Upanishad and stop. I thought that will give me the knowledge. But no, 1,800 mantras are there in the Upanishads for me to study. 700 verses are there in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Sutra has got 550 sutras. Totally, there are about 3,000 mantras or sutras which I have to understand. It's a very big science. It is not a small science. You're trying to understand the whole universe. Veda is very, very vast. So the Upanishadic chart is for you just an academic, for those who want to know. This is Upanishad, how many Upanishads are there, how many mantras are there, and what is the total study which I have to do in spiritual journey. The next topic for today, which I thought I wanted to just do only the BMI chart today, which is this topic, which is this chart. But then I added the other topics because I thought suddenly maybe this BMI chart itself will not be enough. And I thought I will change it to Introduction to Veda. Now, what is the BMI chart? BMI means body, mind, intellect. Now, this chart was designed by Swami Chinmayananda. He is one of the greatest philosophers. He is one of the greatest acharyas of our times. There are many acharyas, and Swami Chinmayananda has designed this for the study of Bhagavad Gita. Especially in every talk of Swami Chinmayananda, he will use this chart. I will give you a brief introduction today on this chart. As we learn the Bhagavad Gita, we will understand this chart better and better. Om represents the Atma Tattvam, consciousness, Atma or Brahman. It represents something which I know today. Veda always deals with something which we don't know. It wants to teach us. Veda is mother. It is Shruti. Mother wants to help the children to grow in life. The Shruti is the mother which helps us to grow spiritually. Materially, yes, there are other teachers. But where do I get the spiritual study? Because I am not only a material body, I am also, there is something in me which is knowing this world, which is able to react, respond to this. I am not a desk or a table. A table is inert. But what is the difference between table and me? Ask this question and you will get the answer that there is an awareness principle, there is a consciousness principle which is there in all of us, universally, in all human beings, living beings. Consciousness is the ultimate reality. And what is the name we give it to that in the Veda? We say Om. Om is a symbol which represents the ultimate. In Mandukya Upanishad, which I'm doing for almost 2 years now, this Om is the only thing which is discussed. How do I understand this is the ultimate reality? This is called as Purushaha. Then below that Om is our vasanas. Vasanas means what? Impressions which are in the Karana Shira. For those who have understood, who have gone through Tattvabodha, will understand Karana Sharira. So that is why I say that you need Tattvabodha to be studied first. So V stands for the impressions. All of us have got impressions. We have a body called as causal body. This causal body is the substratum for our mind. Mind is known to all of us. I'm angry, I'm suffering, I've got joy, I've got sorrow, I've got jealousy. All this is known to me. But those are all what? Those are all impressions which are coming into manifestation. There is some which is unmanifest. Unmanifest means nobody knows tomorrow what I will think. I will think tomorrow at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. What will I think? Nobody knows. So it is there in our system. Body is only an external sheet. Mind is another sheet. Intellect is another sheet. But the deeper sheet for all this body, mind, and intellect, which is an instrument which we use in the world, the deeper sheet is vasana. Vasana is also called as Maya. It is also called as Prakriti. So this is the layer. So ultimately, I am Atma. I am the light consciousness. But what covers this light of consciousness? The first thing which covers is this Karana Shariram, which is Vasanas. Now we will come to the next level, which is BMI. BMI means it is a level of our personality itself. All of you will be able to understand this. What does B stand for? Body. M stands for mind and I stands for intellect. Now, these three are called as instruments. Pramanam. Who is using this instrument? The Jiva. Who is the Jiva? The Jiva is actually Om, pure consciousness. But he's born in this world with a body. So all of us, we identify with this body, mind, and intellect automatically. There are three instruments that are given to us. But we don't know that they are instruments. We take them as ourselves. That is the problem. I am the body. I was born. I will die one day. This is a misconception. Why? Because I, the jiva, without this identification of the body, who am I? Without the identification of the body in sleep state, who am I? I am Om. I am Atma. That is the self-realization. So body, mind, and intellect, they are instruments. When I use the body, mind, and intellect, when I use my body, I become a perceiver. When I use my mind, I become a feeler, emotions. When I use my intellect, I become a thinker. Perceiver, feeler, thinker is called as pramata jiva. Pramata means he is the one who is the knower. In sleep, I am not the knower. I am Om. But when I use the body in and mind, I become a pramata. Pramata means what? Pramata means he is either a doer of action, or he is perceiving the world, or he is enjoying the world. Three things: perceiver, feeler, thinker. This is the second level. We are not only the body, we are also perceiving the world with the help of our sense organ. Third level is OET, objects, emotions, thoughts. Compared to the body and my sense organs, the objects are outside. They are further away from me, the world. Then, compared to my mind and the feeler eye, emotions are further away. Emotions are thoughts. Again, they are only thoughts only, but in rapid movement. Similarly, when I use my intellect, I am a thinker. Thoughts are there. Small, one by one, thoughts come. I should plan this. I should do this. I should attend it. I should attend Gita. I should do Upanishads next. These are all thoughts. Intellect is telling you this is what I should do. Karta bhokta is intellect. So thoughts, objects, and emotions are called as prameyam. Pramata is the perceiver, feeler, thinker. What do they perceive? Objects. The feeler eye thinks of emotions. The thinker thinks of thoughts. This is the way to understand my transactions in life. Vyavaharikam. And whenever the sense organs and the sense objects are interacting, it is natural that you will have Sukham and Dukkha. We will study this in Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter, 14th verse. Beautiful analysis of Shankaracharya. I will do some Bhashyam portion in that mantra. So this whole chart talks about my whole life. What do I do in life? I use my body, mind, intellect. I become a perceiver, feeler, thinker. I am always attached to either objects, emotions, or thoughts. I never have time to look at who am I, which is fundamental in life. Veda says you are born to know who you are. Your whole life is purely designed to know that you are Om, your consciousness. This chart, I can talk for 10 sessions. There's so much depth in this chart. Swami Chinmayananda, he is absolutely great in creating this chart. To understand Bhagavad Gita, you need this chart. Because again and again, Lord Krishna will talk about the body, mind, intellect. He will tell you are a perceiver, feeler, thinker. He will tell you are in touch with the objects outside or your own emotions or your thoughts. Rise above all this, come to realize these are all based on vasanas. And go beyond vasanas to the reality which is not vyavaharikam, it is paramarthikam. It is absolute. Okay. So that was BMI chart in short, very brief. But to understand that brief BMI chart, I will have to go through the Bhagavad Gita. Go through Bhagavad Gita verse by verse, especially chapter 3, 4, 5 of Bhagavad Gita is purely based on this chart. Next is, I have given you a complete list of all the Upanishads which are there, which you can study, and this is just a classification of Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda, and Rig Veda. For those who want to study Upanishads, each of these Upanishads, where do they fall? There are 108 Upanishads which are there, and if you want to study, there's so much of material in this spiritual life, and this is just a chart for those people who are academically oriented. You will know which Upanishad where it is. That's all. The 12 Upanishads which we normally study comes under Atharvana Veda. There are 4 Upanishads: Kaivalya, Prashno, Mundak, and Dukya. Yajur Veda has got 5 Upanishads, the biggest Veda, where we do 5 Upanishads. And the 5 Upanishads are divided into 2 portions. One is Krishna Yajur Veda, another is Shukla Yajur Veda. 3 in Krishna Yajur Veda, 2 in Shukla Yajur Veda. Sama Veda we normally study Chandogya Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. And Rig Veda is only Aitareya Upanishad. I have given you 108 Upanishads are there. In Rig Veda, there are 10. In Sama Veda, there are 16 Upanishads. In Atharvana Veda, there are 31 Upanishads. And in Yajur Veda, the biggest of 108 Upanishads, 50% of those Upanishads are Yajur Veda. In Krishna Yajur Veda, 32. In Shukla Yajur Veda, 19 Upanishads are there. So with this, I come to the end of the introduction to Veda topic, which was my main topic today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamathaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.